3, 2, 1.
Light them up.
I'm Paul.
This is Buck.
This is the Paul and Buck Show.
Hey, the Big Buckin Deal. Hear us. Download the latest app at paulandbuckshow.podbean.com. Okay, guys, we're back. Had a little delay. Today is January the 2nd.
Just after the New Year's.
After New Year's 2023
Ooh,
already.
That was a lot going on, right?
So we're kind of rolling in. We took a little break.
Tried to squeeze in last week, couldn't do it.
Yeah, I do know that people are under the weather.
Had some margaritas to drink. Had some barbecue to make.
Yeah, so we all took a little nice good break. So
What'd you do last week? How did it go for you during the week? I mean, I know we were trying to fit in stuff and
it was busy.
kind of guess where you getting.
It was busy. I had my mother-in-law in town, which wasn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. It was just we were just hectic and
Right.
just trying to maintain
Clean the house.
that and finishing up shopping. After
Right.
this is literally like a week before Christmas. So
Yeah.
going into that,
Yeah.
I also on Christmas Eve
Yeah.
that morning, my wife was like, "Hey, the refrigerator don't seem to be
Shit.
working," and it didn't seem right. It was a couple degrees,
Mhm.
so I cranked it up and went to my sister's house, did the Christmas Eve
Yeah.
stuff, and come back home, and sure enough, the damn freezer.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
so that started off bad. So needless to say, I had to get another fridge.
Oh, that sucks. So
Yeah,
that was
that
like
sucks.
what, about
No,
1K?
It was,
2K?
dude.
You got the double door, the big double door.
I
back
had
one.
the double door. That's what I had.
So you had to replace
that.
that.
refrigerator was literally
Yeah.
9 years old. There's no, and I had the compressor
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
Had somebody come look at it. They said the compressor's good, it's working, but you got a leak. I'm like, oh
Ah.
shit. So and I don't know, whatever. But it's like, okay, if we find a leak, or they say that I told them just charge it up. Just charge it up,
Yeah.
shit. If it's compressor,
They don't charge
And
it.
they goes, we can't do that.
Yeah, they won't do it.
You either, and then he quoted me like this ridiculous amount, and it's like, but it's not going to guarantee, because
Yeah.
he said, well, the leak can be anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm like, you kiss my ass.
yeah.
So-
Yeah, refrigerator, the way they fix them today, and they won't always do it, but if you get them to put you some Freon in that shit,
Yeah.
they've got these little punch-in
Yeah.
adapters that they'll do it.
I know,
but
yeah.
they won't do it for customers. But I know because
Yeah.
I have an uncle that was into refrigeration,
Yeah.
and my dad said, "Hey,
Just charge it up, yeah.
Just charge up the little wall
Yeah.
unit," and he's like, "Well, you got to go get these little."
Yeah.
So I know that you can. Fill
Yeah,
them up.
in I knew it can be too, but to his point, it's like, well, if I do it, I'm gonna have to charge it, and then
No guarantee.
if it leaks, then
And he says no guarantee.
yeah. So I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, so here's the other bad thing.
Yeah.
So we got that news, and that was this was Monday, right? So this is Monday after Christmas.
Yeah.
So we go looking like, okay, we need a new fridge. So of course you go looking for fridges now. None of the stores have anything in inventory.
No.
So everything like some of the estimated dates for delivery was like.
You got to buy
February.
one of the ones that they have there as is.
Yeah. So not even that. So well, yes, you're right. So we went to Home and Lowe's in two different locations.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, what about the floor models? He goes, oh well, we can't get rid of floor models, but we have to have one in stock.
Yeah.
He goes, we don't have nothing. He goes, I got the guy at Home Depot in Hutto. He's like, I got like a microwave and an oven in inventory. That's all I have.
Damn.
Nothing. So he goes, I can't even. So anyway.
No drag radials either. Huh?
I know, right? So the old lady, she starts going to town and starts doing some research. Well, we go to a company called American Freight. It's basically
Here.
It's on 183 in Pond Springs Road.
Wow.
Or Anderson Mill.
Yeah, because y'all are gonna get a fridge.
These are basically the open box, the damage.
That's
the
where they're getting rid of them. Wow.
Dude, they had a whole floor of these. So, but granted, you go in there and you look at some of the fridges, you're like, and they want how much for this?
Yeah.
I mean, they're bad.
But we found a fridge that was nice. It has like a few dents on the side, which it's against the wall.
Yeah. You don't see it.
The front is perfect. I mean, they're all brand new. They all still have a 1-year warranty.
That's what I was gonna say. They were
scratching
doing that.
dents basically.
They were doing that at Lowe's and Depot.
Yeah.
Because we went up there and they're like, I'm like, how much is this? It's like $2,500.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so what are the options between this one and this $900?
Yeah.
And it's very small little details, but they jacked the price up, right?
Really, man.
So I went to the back. I said, I said, this is the same one. What's this doing here? He's like, oh, well, that's a return. We sell them as is. Somebody just didn't like them, and so we had to pick it up and bring it back. But he goes, but there's nothing wrong with it. I said, but you don't have anything that we want. All the main 900,000, 1,200, they're all gone.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, well, we've got this one. He goes, I tell you what, I'll sell it to you at the same price as one of the other ones.
Of course.
So we did exactly what you did.
Yeah.
I'm surprised though that there's actually somebody just buying them all.
Yeah, dude. So this, and they have everything there. It's not just refrigerators, ovens, dishwashers.
Yeah.
And they're basically scratched in. There's like the ones when they get delivered to somebody's house. And like, oh, I'm not gonna take that. It's all fucked up. So, they whatever they insurance that, whatever they do. So it was basically retail for this one was $2,400.
Yeah.
So we got this one for $16.
Yeah,
but
that's what we did.
We did. They got it delivered, and that was the thing too. Because the other ones, a brand new one was basically 2 months out, or about 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
These guys, they go, man, we need it. Oh, we can deliver tomorrow. So they took my old fridge off. They hauled it off.
Yeah.
They installed this one. Got a new water line. 'Cause the other one was the old nylon water line.
And I'm gonna tell you, man. You know why they didn't want this fridge that we got? Guess.
Why?
This lady took it back. People are spoiled, right?
Oh yeah,
She brought it back because she said that in the middle of the night, this thing sounded like somebody was breaking in your house.
Oh really?
So I'm like, she says, yeah. She just basically says this thing's too noisy.
What was wrong with it?
Well, I'm watching TV, 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
And you hear it.
It's the ice, man.
Oh, it's the ice maker.
It's just dropping.
Shit.
It's just going ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. And I'm like, dude, I can live with that all day long.
Well, that's normal. That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal, right?
I know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. So she returned it. So
I got you.
Dude, there's somebody. We got a ghost in here.
No, man. So,
dropping our fans. But anyway, that's why she returned it, and so we get it. We got it installed the next day. And then I realized that there was just a little chrome connector on the door.
Oh,
that it was just missing. It's like a little pushing thing.
Yeah.
So I went back. I said, "Hey man, this fridge is missing the little deal." I didn't even tell him we bought one of the. The guy goes, "Oh, just you know what? Take it off of that one."
Yeah.
So we got it, and it just makes noise, dude.
That's normal. Morning. That's when the ice machine starts making the ice, basically.
That's what it's doing. It's
crazy.
Got all the pushing buttons to change the settings. Water comes out like any other damn thing. I'm like, man, I can't believe somebody would pay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this fridge is. I mean, it's nice. I mean, the front's perfect. It's brand. They're
is
brand
it a
new.
stainless steel white one or
stainless steel?
Yeah.
I mean, because the old one we had, like, since 9 years old, it was
Yeah.
it was I'm not gonna say the brand, but anyway.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have gone bad. Basically, what I'm saying. The guy that came, we had a guy come look at it, and he goes, "Well, how old is it?" I said, "What's 9 years?" He goes, "Wow, I'm surprised it lasts that long." I'm like, dude, I said, my sister got a fridge that's 27 years old and it's still working. It's just a bunch of cheap shit they're using.
We bought a wall unit just because we needed some AC really quick, and I said, well, here's a $600 unit, here's a $300 unit, and then here's your regular old turn the knob, $200 something unit, right? And I said, man, we just need something to cool this little section off for a little bit. We bought that sucker. Man, turn it on. Oh, this thing's running great. It's cooling the room down. It's perfect. It's like 68 in here, 65. And then not even 2 months later.
You go out.
Just after, or 3 months, after the warranty's out. Dude, this thing's not blowing cold anymore. So somewhere it developed a leak and all the shit just went out of it, man. So I took it apart. I took the, what do you call it? The booster pack for the fan.
Oh yeah.
Man, I took that shit off. I went and freaking yanked
direct.
the buttons off of it. Nah, I got the old AC, put all that in the old one, Cranked that sucker up. I was about to chunk it. Cranked it up, man. That thing started blowing cold again. I'm like, man, this is some shit.
Chunking ice
There's
cream.
an old freaking AC unit here that the button messed up on it, or the pack booster went out, and I just plugged it back in, and I'm like, man, this is stupid, a waste of money,
Yeah. Like I said,
but I guess it's all this Chinese.
They got we're right at 3 months it goes.
Yeah.
It starts going south,
Yeah.
but anyway, that was like the Christmas. It was
Well,
it was an unexpected $2,000 that I didn't want to spend.
Well, we had some money right that we're gonna. We had some issues with our heater a year ago, and we couldn't get it to turn on. Like everything, the settings, everything, the blinking light, but we couldn't get the gas to ignite.
Oh yeah.
So remember when the freeze came in and all that stuff? Well, we're like, damn, what are we gonna do? Nobody's gonna come out here to fix this shit. So we bought some propane shop heaters.
Oh yeah.
And just cranked those up, and so we did fine. And it never gets hot as
Right.
cold in Texas, right?
Right.
But this year we're like, we need to get somebody out here before it freezes to come fix this shit. So I said, you know what, man? I'm trying to get something else looked at with the our gas, right? So I said, no, man, go to the freaking our water heater and make sure that the valves are all open.
No, of course.
And he goes out there and goes, yeah, they're all open. I said, man. I said, I don't know. I can't figure out why under the stove. Since they put a YT in there, the oven's giving us trouble with that.
Right.
So I can't figure out that. And so I said, no, go to the breaker, reset everything on the breaker. So he goes and resets everything. Boom, 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 boom. And I heard some little buzz.
Oh yeah.
I said, is that our heater? Our freaking house? I went up there, turned it on. I said, no, I'll see if you get the VC, if you see fire coming out of it. All of a sudden, the heater's working. So I don't know what reset the whole damn thing.
There you go.
But it saved us some money, man.
Yeah,
So that was our woe.
Yeah, like I said, it froze its ass off a couple days before during that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, during that Christmas week. So yeah, that was another suck thing, but fortunately nothing.
Did you buy some presents for your car? Not you. Did you buy some presents for your car, or?
Yeah, I wish. My car never.
Do we have to bleep?
I'll be honest, man.
Do we have a bleep button?
My car never gets not for Christmas, not from anybody else other than me or my dad.
Yeah.
My dad will throw some in there, but no, that
air freshener.
There's nothing. Yeah.
You got an air freshener.
yeah. Now there's
new car smell.
Usually, I don't remember last time. I mean, shit, it's been a while. So I got no love, man. No love. It's usually just, and of course, Daddy never gets,
No, Dad's always
gets the socks and the joints.
It's the socks and the underwear. I don't know if you've seen my memes on Facebook. But I'm waiting for my underwear present to show up.
That's usually what we get, our pat on the back or something.
Yeah.
But
no, I've only had 1 year, and I don't bitch and complain, right? As long as everybody else gets what they want, I'm cool.
Yes.
But there was only one time where I got some hood pins. I got some new door handles.
Yes.
It was a 68 Chevelle. I got some door handles, some hood pins. I got I don't know who threw it in there, man, but it was an 8-track, a vintage 8-track player.
Really?
Yeah, and I turned it into a stereo.
Sweet.
It open.
Nothing wrong with that. No. Play some Fog Hat on there.
I think I got some. I don't know, man. It was like some wrist. I just pointed. I said, "Look, I want this for the car."
Play some ZZ Top on the 8-track.
Yeah, and I got that, and then that was the last. That's been ages ago.
I think I got one time, long time. I think I got a helmet one time, but for Christmas.
That reminds me, dude. We need a helmet.
Yeah.
They were giving us when we were at the track. They wanted a full face helmet.
Oh,
Everybody
really?
was having their open face. They're like, seriously, we can't run those because you wanted to run the mini bike.
Yeah.
But I guess they didn't say shit. He had a motorcycle once, so it was all
That's
complete.
Full face, right?
But there's some guys there with open face and.
Man, you can get a handlebar on the chin or something.
Something. I don't know the way his mini bike went over his head.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, see, that was the highlight reel.
Yeah.
So, but that was middle of December.
That was December.
So tell us about that. Let's talk about that. That was the event at Little River on the 19th.
Something like that, because we haven't touched on that.
Yeah.
So this is the first time hanging out with the new prep street cars They said it was going to be a great event. They were
Oh,
going to
that's
put
right.
it
That
on.
was the slow class.
They at first it sounded like it was just going to be the fast cars,
Right.
and then they introduced what they call a slow class. They're not really slow. They're just not the 5 second rides. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they came up with the slow class that you have to be 650 and
Right.
slower or something like that.
Right.
And then they threw in a mini bike.
That's what it was.
Because at first at the what is it, Bergenfest, they were going to do the mini dragsters, and that got canceled out.
Yeah. That's when they did that race on that Sunday.
Yeah, everything the weather clears out, so they said, boom, do that.
This is at Little River.
Little
by the
River,
way.
yeah,
Right,
Little River.
Dragway.
So I'm like, this whole time I'm looking at this stuff happening, and we have a mini bike. We built one like, I don't know, 8 years ago. And we did bunch of little mods to it. They had some fun with it, but we never really opened it up. You know, we never did all the mods that they do to really get this damn thing going. So Josh says, "So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take it. This thing's a turd." And I said, "Hold on, man. Let's go in there and let's remove the governor. Let's adjust the valves and put some other bolt-ons." We did all that stuff, man, and now we got too much. The mini bike's got too much gear. We didn't know it, so we take the bike like that. We put fresh fuel in it, a little hotter plug, just because it was really cold that day, or we assumed.
Right.
And we had to make our own freaking gas tank, just because the gas tank wouldn't. The stock one that comes in those big ass motors doesn't fit under that little frame. It's really over engined, right? Too much engine. So we make this little gas tank, and it's only good for for the quarter mile to get there, idle a little bit, and make your pass, and on the way back, that's it.
That's all you need, man.
That's all we needed, right? So it was working, right? It worked. We get there, we're fighting the carburetor. It's got some junk in it. Freaking Thomas is listening to what we were saying. He's like, "Man, you sure you don't have something dirt stuck in the top of it?" I said, "Dude, we cleaned the whole damn thing." So right before, so we moved from where Thomas was at. We went further down because nobody was parked under the trees. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Josh, man, let's just park over there. Let's get away from all the cats over here." So we go over there, we park, and I said, "Dude, let's do it. Let's just pull the carburetor off. Let's look at it again." And so while the fast cars are going, the slow cars go, then the fast cars go, and then it's the mini bikes at the end. So I seen Thomas pass by, and I'm like, "Damn, I don't get to see him." So he goes by. And while we're pulling the carburetor off, we see a cloud. I mean, like, he literally mosquito fogged the whole goddamn thing, right? We could hear his motor because it's got a deep tone, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, "Damn, he's running." And we're over here freaking, getting everything done. And not only does the smoke stay at the line, but he builds a cloud of smoke all the way towards the end of the line. So he freaking fogged. I mean, it was great. No mosquitoes, right?
Right.
So obviously he made a smoky burnout. So we get to see that. We see a bunch of other cars. We're seeing the mini bikes now go, and we're like, "Dude, we're trying to put a freaking carburetor back on." As soon as we would hit the choke, open the choke, the thing was dying before it. So we're like, "This ain't gonna run."
Something loosened up.
We put it back on, and we had a stuck throttle because everything's rigged, right? So we bent. Noah's like bending the new throttle because we took the governor off. So he bends it. He's like, "Throttle's working," and then he bolts up the last bolt on the carburetor, puts it on, and it's got a bigger jet and all that, right? So he bolts it on, and all of a sudden the sound of the mini bike just changed. He's like, "We got full choke," and Josh is like, "All right, so what do I do? Do I full throttle it?" I said, "Dude, we don't know what this thing's gonna do. I wouldn't just go."
Right.
So he looks at me, he gets on, he puts his helmet on, and he farts off, man, and then you have to drive right back around, right? Well, we only have enough fuel, man, to make that run, and he don't want to turn it off because it may not turn back on. We're doing it with starter fluid, and that's what Noah's supposed to be there. So here's what's different about top end. How are you gonna cross the damn fence? So everybody
jump the guardrail.
Well, there was a big old tractor tires there. Apparently, anybody who wants to watch something has to jump the tractor tires. If you're gonna be crew, you have to jump the tractor tires, or bring your own freaking ATV and drive all the way around. Now everybody's just hanging around at the starting line because you can't jump back off the fence.
That's right.
So me and Noah are like, "How you gonna help him?" And we're like, "I don't know." But we see Josh driving off like a freaking cowboy in the sunset, and then here he comes back up, man, and he's supposed to get a bye run. Yeah. So it was like going to round 2 without any.
Gotcha.
I said, Josh, all you gotta do is make A and B. Just A and B, man. He's like, all right. But he gets there. Apparently, the numbering of everybody was kind of confusing, and so the dude
Draw the chip, whatever.
Yeah, so the guy next to him doesn't know where the hell he's at. I think I'm number 4. I think I'm number 3. And Josh is like, well, I'm number 4. He goes, oh, okay, then I'm number 5. And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to do a buy run, and then the dude don't know. So he ends up racing.
So you had to run.
So he had to run this guy.
Yeah, I thought you had to buy.
Nah, so now he's running the dude. Well, they do the light, and he don't know how his mini bike can go. So what does he do? The dude takes off because he's got one of them big tire mini bikes. So his thing just put it off.
Right.
This dude just gunned it. Bike just came out from underneath him. I mean, he swung it back around, put it back down, got back on it. He thinks he can still catch him. Gunned it again, swung it up in the air. Some camera dude is going just taking. Everybody's like yelling, like holy shit. And Noah can't jump over the fence fast enough. So all we can do is just see him put his bike back on. Now he takes off really slow. He's gunning it really low, and he puts a little gain on that dude halfway. And since there's no governor, the bike actually was picking up a lot quicker, and he developed the death wobble on the top end. So his wheel just so he let off again, and he came back. And you know when your first drag race,
So the white knuckles.
he came back and his hands were like he'd never been in that time zone, right? And we were laughing, and the bike dudes that came from San Antonio that had the wheelie bars and all that, they're like, we saw that, man. We saw that. He's like, just run a smaller gear next time. You know? So, we were kind of content with that bike.
Of
I mean,
course,
literally,
That
the
was the
frame
first
was
time.
the frame was not designed for that
Right,
shit.
of course,
you know?
Well, I mean, it was fun. Like, so y'all made an effort to go out there.
Yeah. Now, all the guys that were running, I mean, that was of course, we were mini bike riders. We're just trying to get back into drag racing some way or another, right? We're gonna do it.
Right.
But the slow car class, it was, you know what I liked about that is that they're not really slow cars. I mean, you have cars that can really do some potential, legit 940s, 950s, 960s. I mean, these are fast cars.
Oh yeah.
But some
that 650 cap. I mean, that's a 10. That's
pretty
good.
much.
Yes.
So the cars that were showing up having to drive, or maybe they put them off a trailer somewhere else.
Yeah.
They drove in there.
I
mean, they drove them in there, and I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. This ain't really slow. This ain't no 12-second car. This ain't no 11. This is serious shit. So somebody's gonna get kicked out for being too fast. There's gonna be something happening here because somebody, I guarantee you, is running faster than the 6.5. And so there's a bunch of cool cars that you can pretty much cruise on the weekend and go do some drag racing without breaking the bank.
Of course.
Or worrying about too much.
About having fun. I mean, that's what it.
Yeah, so that's what the class was at, but it was also very fast.
Yeah.
And it was real competitive because they had the most cars out of all of them. Now, you also had the fast cars.
Yeah.
And that was interesting, but the thing about that is that you pretty much know that these guys are really fast, and so you know which car is the one to watch at the very end, because that's probably the guy that's going to win. And so you're basically, and it was a smaller number, so you can kind of predict who was going to make the rounds. But Matt, we brought him on here. He made some really good passes. Biddle, he had a little Fairmont, whatever it is. Yeah, really nice little. I mean, that car's clean. And he is making some really
good
cool runs. Yeah, and it's a real streetable looking car.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, he drives it right.
The 275 drag rail, I don't think they fit on that car. Maybe he's got them on. I don't know, but they're small.
Yeah.
But the car looked clean.
235s or something.
Yeah, so I don't know if he was fast car, slow class. I think he was in the slow class. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But the other cars that came in, as long as they could fit in the small tire.
Yeah. So the street class or the cat, whatever it was, right? So good amount of cars, right? And then so there was I'll go into it, right? There was a little drama at the end, right?
Right. It was an El Camino. It was an El Camino.
Where was that from?
What was it?
The Elko.
He's from Corpus.
Okay, yeah.
He belongs in I believe they call that WFO. I don't know if you go on Facebook. They're called WFO something.
They
Not like Chris.
They got to click here,
but it's
down
called WFO, right?
down
I
there.
don't know if they've been around longer than Chris. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, whatever.
It is a group of a chat room, and so that's where I was kind of seeing some of the. I first saw the discrepancies in regards to the 650 class, but basically, what my understanding was that your car had to be a legit 6.5 car.
Yeah.
And a wonderful thing about this little product called Draggy, DRAGY, that damn thing is very accurate.
Yep.
And the promoters of the show, the owners of the group that put on that event, they also run around with cameras. So they'll pop a camera on top of your car, the other car. I guess either you have your own Draggy or they put one on your car.
Yeah.
And basically, I guess
they monitor.
I don't know the rules very well, but from what I understand was you weren't supposed to lift. So my understanding is, hey, maybe you can take off really slow, but don't lift.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened was, and I watched some of the videos. I'm not watching the actual camera that these guys are talking about, but you can at the very last minute, right at the line. You hear a lift, and you don't know what car it is, but you hear a lift. Yeah. So the discrepancy was one of the cars had he not lifted, maybe he would have won, maybe he would have something. The decision would have gone different. Yeah. So from my understanding, that was the discrepancy.
That was the discrepancy.
A misunderstanding. That's what I take. But as far as the rules go, they're very well put.
Well, that's from what I understood and from what I seen. I didn't know the full details of it, but I know that there was some ifs that lifting, because 650 means 650. I think they were giving you some wiggle too. I don't know, like 640 or something. But if you're running 620s and you're pedaling with that, that's sandbagging, right?
Put a restrictor plate so you can be slower on the takeoff. I don't know, do something, but make sure your car is not.
But somehow that there was a lift there and it got overturned.
Because most people always assume.
Or did they end up splitting too or something?
Either that or they gave it eventually. I don't know. Who cares, right?
Whatever,
my deal is it was called Index, and the rule was don't lift.
Right.
And it better be 650 because the Draggy we're watching,
we'll
know.
Show you. It's accurate.
So I guess the misunderstanding is, like most index races that we've been to, the whole point is you're watching your opponent now and you're lifting because you don't want to go faster than your index, right?
Index,
Well, here you couldn't do that.
Yeah, it was a wide open class, and there was like that old Pinks All Out that that was that part of that whole thing. If you lifted, either they heard your car, if they heard something, or seen your brakes, layover, nose dive, or whatever, they know. But like indexing is basically fucking bracket racing, but
it is
because you can hit your brakes just as long as you don't run faster than an index. But this class was different because that's where it was an all wide open, all out.
Yeah, here's my 2 cents. It's index.
Yeah.
But it's only to tell you that your car needs to be in a 650 or slower. It doesn't mean you were supposed to lift because your car runs 620.
If you're right, I mean that's
you know what I mean.
Right. You just it's like I said, it's like bracket. Like if you knew where your car needed to be and you're going to run this and it wasn't going to be faster.
Yeah. If you're faster, go to the next bracket. Go to the next class.
Yeah, so.
Go to the small tire.
Go to the 60 class, whatever.
Yeah. So put more nitrous in your car. Put more boost.
Yeah, the index racing evolved, man, because there used to be a 580 still, and that was popular. Yeah. There used to be a 620. And then 620 got washed because I don't know if people were walking away with it or wasn't a big following. Then it went to a 660.
I remember that.
And then 7.0's been around, and then somehow 650 came in, boom.
Yeah.
And which is a thing now, and then there's a 50, there's a 60, there's a 650, 7.0. So anyway. There's always something for you to fit in somewhere, which is okay. But for this particular event, 650 was you all out, street class,
all out.
All
your
out
car,
class, so you had to be there.
Yeah, your car has to be all out, maybe 670, 660. Yeah. If it's all out and you are 650, be afraid your car might do 648.
It might break
640.
But see the thing about that though, I think that's why they gave some wiggle room because there was really no timers.
No timers.
Other than just that Draggy. And again, the Draggy's pretty damn accurate, but it's not like balls on.
It's off of
maybe
thousands.
a couple thou.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe a small.
And
That's
and
why
that-
they're giving that 10th wiggle room.
And that's it. Well, I don't know. I didn't go too much since I wasn't racing there, but
Right.
on that. But yeah, I mean, the main one is don't lift. The cameras don't lie, and the cameras actually rotate. You know, you could see
Yeah,
it.
those are badass.
It's some
360.
badass shit. So
Yeah.
how are you gonna? You can't debate what those cameras do. So
Yeah.
you know what? I will say congratulations to both. So these cars have, at the end,
Right.
That El Camino,
Yeah.
dude, I would drive that car all day long. Friday, Saturday,
That's what
Sunday, I would
seen
cruise
some
it.
videos of it. Yeah.
He drove in. I'm pretty sure he actually got on the highway. He came around, he went somewhere. He came back where we seen him go around me while we
Right.
were in line.
Right.
The little Fairmont, the little brown car. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that the car has bench seats. I think it's column shift. I don't know. I didn't see that shit. But if it's column shift, even
It
better.
seemed like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very clean
Yeah,
car.
and I think
so.
it was a nitrous car. You know, if Biddle wants to come on here and talk about his
Yeah.
cool car, come on over, man. We want to
Yeah,
know about what you do, Tech. That I mean, that's a really nice little build you have there. The El Camino guy, obviously they're from somewhere else, but
Yeah.
that guy's car fits everything about the 1990s of a weekend street driven car with the big block. I think it was a big block. It's got the turn down exhaust, all that cool shit, and that motherfucker was running. It was running. So new car versus old school type of cars, and they're all in the slow car class, which they're not really slow cars. These are really fast cars.
They seem like they're
It's
pretty
cool as
pretty
shit.
quick cars. Like I
Yeah.
said, it was a cool little event. Like so that was the middle of December, right?
Right.
We touched on
Great
that.
weather for it.
Oh yeah, it was.
Jeez.
It was pretty
Yeah.
nice, right? I think, and they finished up pretty quick. I guess right when nightfall was coming around, like they said
Yeah.
they would. So, so apparently there's gonna be more of those events coming up, right?
They're supposed to have one in February. This time, Matt told me that for the mini bikes, they're gonna, and I don't know if it's just the mini bikes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a what do they call it? A dash for cash or something like that.
Right.
Basically, you have to run to your mini bike, crank it,
Really?
yeah, and then do the race. So there's a little bit of problems with that because some mini bikes you can't pull start them because the motors aren't stock, and so when you start raising the compression, what do you think happens? Well, you're gonna break your arm. So that's why you have those freaking starters.
Yeah.
That's why they make those race starters. And some of those bikes that are coming from San Antonio, they're built like that. So these guys are like,
so
man,
they're
I can't
making a
pull
rule.
start. He goes, I can't pull start my stuff. So they're gonna run also. They're not gonna be able to do obviously that,
Yeah.
but your traditional stage,
Gotcha.
green light, and no problems. And Josh's bike, I mean, it wouldn't have worked well for us either. But still, it's interesting because these little mini bikes, they don't look very fast on camera.
Yeah, I know
But
they're fast.
you're talking these bikes are built to run 1/8 mile. Sometimes they're even built to run 1/4 mile. And when they're running 1/4 mile, these bikes hit 90 miles an hour. So a 330 foot race, really just it's A to B. And if you have a lot of gearing like Josh's did, it didn't take much to cover that ground and hit 60. Because Josh hit about 50, 60 miles an hour there, and that's why he got the death wobble because that frame has never been faster than like 40.
It's not made for that.
So these bikes are they're temperamental, but they're fun. They're fun to watch, and they're just like the mini dragsters. Some of these mini dragsters have some serious motors in them, and they run pretty quick in the 8th mile. So same thing for the mini bike, but that's gonna be cool. So if you go to the event, these guys don't play. They're just as serious as the real cars. It's just in a smaller package.
Yeah.
But talking about Wiseco, Isky cams, big springs,
Oh, yeah.
Hemi heads versus adjustable rockers, and I mean they have all kinds of cool shit. These little motors, they get into it. So watch out for that class. It's pretty cool.
That is gonna be.
The other cars, I think, not only do they have a slow class, I think he said there's going to be from what I saw already on the threads, a slower class.
Really?
And basically, the slower class, you have to run street tires. I think it's street tires. You have to actually run a real
a
street
hard
tire.
with street tire.
Yeah. And so Josh's car actually is really good for that class because he likes you can get regular old street tire. But it's going to be interesting to see what kind of cars show up there.
I know.
Because street tire is very challenging to get down the track. You can have a lot of power, but it's a different animal for a street tire.
Anything, I mean, especially if they're going to do that that top end race. That's difficult for pretty much any tire, not unless it's a street tire.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more difficult with the street tire.
Yeah, so it's like a fast. So it's like a small tire car. Trying to skate on a slower car,
right?
Drag radial. Now you got street tire.
Yeah.
You got suspension tuning. So it's gonna get cool, I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of newbies in that don't know how to run either, so they're gonna learn.
Of course.
I hope they don't hit the fence.
Yeah.
Don't hit the wall, because you've got some.
That guardrail's not moving.
Those Mustangs, the new Camaros, they make a lot of power, and the new Corvettes, they make a lot of power. And if you come in with those cars. Expecting to just smash the throttle. Josh smashed the throttle on his Benny bike and completely freaking flew up in the air with it. So it could be the same thing with your car. You may actually hit the wall before you even get past the 60.
I hear you.
So pay attention to that with this class. It's going to be slippery unless your car's really slow.
Right.
You'll be okay, but a 700 horsepower stock factory car.
Oh yeah, no.
It's gonna be, man.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a game changer.
Yeah, so it's worth watching this event. It's pretty cool, and then you got your fast players. Sievert's supposed to have something else.
Sievert's got one coming up in this month.
Yeah, those are all fast. Those are all fast small tire cars.
And that's not going to be a top end race. That's going to be a regular race.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I understand, like I said, you never know.
Yeah.
We'll have to get Chris on so we can clear the airwaves. So.
He said he would.
Yeah.
Matt said he'd come back to talk about this new event in February. So we'll wait and see if they make it up here or not.
Sounds good. Like I said, that's some other people. We got a few other guests that are scheduled to come on. Just a matter of getting it scheduled up. So anybody who wants to come on the show and wants to discuss anything they got going on, feel free.
Right.
Just contact us, me or Paul. But anyway, so we can go into one last thing.
Tell me. Yeah, and we have some others. So tell me about your. You've been to street racing before. You've done that. You're not new to that.
Right,
but you haven't been out there with like a really built. What is a track car turning street? So
me and Thomas, we went out to Street Outlaws. About 7 years ago when they up in Oklahoma. That was kind of an organized kind of a street deal, which was totally out of our realm. We went out there kind of blind. I think Thomas had a totally new combo, and he just finished up putting nitrous on his car. I mean, this was that one time, and anyway. So this is a nitrous combo. Yeah.
Big block.
So it's nitrous combo,
track
typically, right?
Setup.
Shred up. I mean, he's still set up for like a track setup with radials. He was set up for. So anyway,
What did it take to go to the street? Tell me what do you think the changes are on a track, from a track car to?
There's a whole bunch of differences. So,
plus minus meeting the requirements to be able to follow the general guidelines that they want you to.
Yeah. So I mean, typically,
small tires. Did they want small tire or big tire?
Tom's got small tires on it.
No, but what did they want for this last event?
Whatever.
Didn't matter?
It didn't matter. Wow. It didn't matter. I mean, it was no requirement. It was just so basically they're referring to some of the things that over this past weekend. It was a cash days in Austin area.
So this is Austin area cash days. Normally you hear that in Dallas.
Yeah. So it was. There's a thing that we're getting acclimated to it. I mean, Thomas he's getting into it. I'm just following Thomas's lead.
Right.
I help with certain things, but Thomas got his stuff ironed out. So his truck was set up for radials, and his suspension is totally set up for radials. He's got good suspension. Now, in order to go from a track to a street, you have to do some chassis changes, bar changes. If you got 4-link or ladder bars, ballast, weight. There's a big thing you got to do there.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, so tunes. I mean, there's so many different tires, right? I mean, that's another thing. So Thomas had some, he's got some the tires that are not what everybody else is running. They're Hoosiers, but they're not the compound. He moves weight around. He didn't get the thing with Thomas. I'll go into it, right. Thomas doesn't test.
Right.
Thomas,
there's not much time.
wherever he does, whenever he goes to an event, it's he's testing there.
Yeah.
I mean, and, he owns a business. He's busy. He works all the time. But anyway, so he worked his way in. He talked to some folks. He got invited to this event. I think they said there was supposed to be 20-something cars.
Now he's from the 512 area, but he's never been in the 512 street.
Well,
so he's an outsider.
So Thomas's truck. I mean, it's built for it's a street strip. He's part of my club, right, Curtis? Yeah. My requirement for Central Texas Streetcar Association is that your car has a street appearance. Right. It doesn't necessarily mean you drive it on the street. Right. I mean, everything requirements is all steel, all glass. Lights. Exhaust. Right. We got side exits, but they got mufflers on them. Yeah. Anyway, so he's really never officially been on the street before. I mean, right. Other than racing at Oklahoma City, but never like say, hey, I'm gonna go put my truck on the track. It was never like that. It was always like, hey, we're gonna go run class events. Then it morphed into no time, and then so Thomas does a little bit of everything. Wherever there's a race, Thomas is probably gonna race. Right. So he gets invited. We go. It's they have their own thing. It's a little different. Some of the, and I understand. There's a thing that you put out there just for certain people to know where places they go. Right. Now the testing was definitely, again, Thomas don't test, but even at that point, nobody said, hey, this is a good place to test. This is where you can test at. Right. Nobody said nothing to Thomas, and if somebody would have told Thomas, maybe he would have went and tested somewhere. Right. But nobody even reached. Nobody said, "Hey, this is where we're going to meet." And I think it was like that day. Here, we're meeting here. Boom, we go. This is where we're racing. Boom, we go. And
so basically, they didn't want anybody testing on that surface prior to this event, because that was probably one of the prerequisites of the race, right?
I would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume, but I don't know. Like I said, we don't. Thomas, I'm just following Thomas's lead. Thomas has got, the info, but from what I understand, they just said, hey, meet us here, and we'll go race on the street. I'm like, okay, so, Thomas just wants to go and have fun. Yeah. And Thomas's truck, I mean, there was some quick cars here. So Saturday comes along early in the morning, 31st. I mean, there was some well-known racers there, local guys.
And he's nitrous, so how many nitrous cars were there?
I want to say there was one. I think there was a Mustang there, white. It was a hatch. Mm-hmm. Sounded wicked. I think it was nitrous. I'm not sure, but I think that was the one. But
so that makes him even more different about attending this street event, because everybody's turbo pretty much nowadays. Yeah,
everybody's pretty much turbo. I mean, well, he made it out of 16. He was the final 4, and he was only motor car there basically. I guess you want to say nitrous motor, but
But he's on motor basically. Most of it.
Basically, I mean, we have, it's basically like a scramble button. I mean, anyway, so he's a nitrous motor, but he was the only one in that final 4. All the others were turbo cars. Yeah, there was a twin turbo, and 2 singles. I guess the other 2 were 2
So
singles.
now I saw some of the videos popping up that morning. That is a very thin, sketchy ass backwoods Austin type road that we used to race on back in the day. It may not be that road, but I am no newcomer to those kind of sketchy ass roads.
There was people getting down, but I mean, there was some lanes that had dips in it. I mean, there was dips and uneven surfaces, and it was gravel, and I mean, but people were getting down it. I mean, don't get me wrong, people were hiking the front wheels up.
Just there wasn't enough room, is what I could tell.
Yeah, it was narrow.
There's no side room. I mean, if you do go off the side, I mean, you're on the grass.
There wasn't no
next
room.
to a fence.
There wasn't no room. Like I said, it was driver. I mean, they had it lit up. It was at that point. People had their stuff. They had a starter. They had the.
What do you think about their Christmas tree? It's pretty kick ass.
Yeah,
it just kind of
it works. It's just instant green. That's what I call instant green. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
And that's people got events at the track, instant green, right? Just no pre-light bulbs, just green, bam, you're gone. So that was like an instant green. So that's not nothing, unusual.
I got to say something about that. The way this guy was handling his the light, dude, he was putting safety first before just hitting a light. Like, he's gonna make sure he's safe, because most of these guys that I've seen on TV, you got to remember, you've got side exit exhaust,
right.
You've got some sharp ass pipe that's gonna run right by you, depending on especially on that kind of road where you're really close. So some of these guys, they love to run backwards. You know how many times I've seen guys fall running backwards, and then you hit the light. These guys take off. What if
you trip and fall, or
dude, you're gonna ruin the guy's race, or he's gonna go around you, and then you're gonna, or you're gonna get ran over. Thank God nobody's gotten ran over yet, but these guys they were like, fuck that. Yeah. These guys, they'll set up the car, and then I see them, move back, and then watch the tree, and then they hit the button, and then they go. So they're putting some safety in there, which is pretty cool.
They had, like I said, they had their security, they had people in areas. It was an event that was put on. They'd done it before, you could tell. Yeah. And so, but
as far as the road being dippy.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, everybody ran it. It's not no excuse, but it was definitely like, whoa, that left. One of those lanes had right there about within the first 30 foot. It seemed like it was like a dip. But anyway, it had a little groove, baby groove. It didn't matter. Like I said, if you tune your car, it was going down. Like I said, those other guys were hiking the front wheels, so we had so much power taken out of it that we were just trying to get down. Like I said, we're blind, man. It was blind.
Yeah, but to end up in the top four, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, all motor.
Like I said, it was pretty good. Like I said, either we had good luck or whatever it was. It was making there. Every race was a close race.
Right.
So. And everybody had some, like I said, it was fast cars. Chris Varney, Orange Crush, was there from San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Peter Brown. There's some well-known guys there. Locals, man. They're fast. So, and the guys who split the pot, I guess, in the finals, they were local. Fast cars.
Yeah.
Second gen F body and a fourth gen, I guess, right? So.
Okay.
So anyway,
you'll have to watch the videos if you guys.
Yeah, there's videos out there. Like I said, I just had a little snippet. I didn't have a lot of time to do a whole lot of anything. It was a long night, so that was one thing.
What time did y'all get home?
It was late. It was I say late. It was early. It was early Saturday morning. It was. I mean, I didn't walk. It was 6 o'clock. So.
Man, you know what? I just happened to wake up like around 6:30.
Yeah.
And I heard my phone vibrate, and I looked at it, and I see this video popping up, and I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
And I'm watching it. I'm like, God damn, was it freaking today? Was it last night? Yeah. Damn, how come I didn't know?
Because originally, when they were talking, I thought it was like literally going to be New Year's Eve, like Saturday, but apparently, when I got the phone call that Friday night, I was like, oh, okay. it was on. So, and Thomas was he had already been in communication.
He was already set up.
He was already knew what was going on. He just asked for some help, and so I tagged along. And
well, you've always been the ignition, tuning, maybe suspension stuff too.
Thomas, he got his own thing. Thomas can do everything. If I just tell him what to do, he knows what to do, and he already knows the system enough that I just give some input.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I just. He got it figured out.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, he's got his thing figured out.
Not even team, just fans.
Yeah. So I mean, he's I pretty much know, or he knows what's going on, and he just asked for some help, so I just followed.
Right.
And just helped him out. So and like I said, if you didn't have help out there, everybody had somebody helping, and it just made for a little bit longer night if you didn't have no help.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, man, because some of these cameras, right? Nobody wants to take video of people's faces, and so
really?
I'm like, so check this out. So I'm watching. I'm like, damn, what's this? I said, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll watch the races because this just happened hours before I just got up, right? So I'm watching, and I can hear people's voices because I recognize who it is, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, there's so and so. Okay, there's so and so. Oh, okay, all right. See this video, and then all of a sudden I hear a voice. I'm like, I think I hear that. Wait, okay, so there's a love. Okay, so let me see if I can hear Thomas here because his truck wasn't on, right?
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden they're like, all right, we're gonna run. Then I that's when I heard your voice. And then out of everybody getting excited, the camera just goes up slightly, and it passes right by you, by your chin.
Is that right?
So all I saw was your beard, right?
Because I had my hoodie on, man. Because it was cold that night.
And I see you walking, hauling ass towards the truck, man, to do something to it. I'm like, that motherfucker, you got to go and fucking see it live.
Oh,
and I'm like, man, I could have been there doing some videotaping for. I don't even know if they would allow us to do that shit. So
I wouldn't see why not, man. Like I said, it was like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's definitely next. I mean,
did you get video? Were you able? Or you were working too much?
I got video just of Thomas, and that was it.
But you didn't sit around.
No, because like I said, once he came back, we were going back and we were getting his truck ready. The first pass, the Thomas when that temperature when it froze, he kept his truck in a trailer.
Oh yeah.
But he had a heater, so it wasn't a problem. But
yeah.
he popped his he had undid his radiator cap. So when we made that first pass, it blew coolant, just a little bit of coolant, because it went in the intake. But anyway, so he come back and said, man, the motor's a little hot. So anyway, so we found that, and so we had to go find water. So that was, and we he doesn't have to charge his battery, but we put it on a charger because he's got an alternator on it. Everything works.
Yeah, but it's a big motor, so you got to make
sure.
So
so we were doing that to make sure fuel. So we're just doing just general maintenance, make sure tires are where they. So if I'm sure he could have done it with him and David, but I tagged along and helped, so I just helped him out and loaded, do all that stuff. Because here's the other thing is that when he came down, when we were leaving, it was raining.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It drizzled here.
I was barbecuing about 10:30 at night.
Yeah, it was drizzling.
And I was getting wet on. I'm like, the fuck? They raced last night? It rained.
Yeah, it drizzled and the roads were wet.
That's what I was seeing on the video too. And I'm like, how's he getting down the road?
Apparently somewhere with in Central Austin, it didn't rain. I don't.
So they lucked out over there.
Yeah. So, but when he came and picked me up,
it was drizzling here. Right?
It was the roads were kind of semi-wet, and Thomas, granted Thomas got one little birth. Love scratch on that one side.
He does, yeah.
He doesn't like to keep his truck dirty.
Yeah,
so we went in an open trailer instead of taking his enclosed. So his truck was all like full of road grime. And I was like, ooh, Thomas is gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
cleaned it.
It didn't matter. Like I said, it got dirty. So, but anyway, so it was cool. Like I said,
life of street racing.
Life of street racing.
Mud,
like I said,
rain.
I got to go to the event. I'm still, I guess on the fence. It is what it is. Like everybody's got their niche.
It's a different taste. It's gonna stay in your.
But it was fun.
Mind.
Like I said, everybody ran good. The winners, they're fast. I heard they split the pot. Little and Justin, they split, which is good. And I think they ran just for bragging rights. I think at the end, but like I said, it's a good little cool thing.
Yeah, if you look at those two cars, very different setups on how one leaves the line versus what the other one. That Chevelle with the no front end, man, that thing had a whole different type of scenario going on.
Apparently, that guy was from out of state.
Was he?
Yeah, I don't know where, but apparently Louisiana. I think he's from Louisiana. But it's a turbo hanging out the top, pretty much at the roof of the car, no front end, just some little halogens or little LED lights on the front end. That was it. But
he wanted to win.
Him and Justin had a little close race. Kind of close. But
dude, I would have been so tripped out, man. If that car would have hit my car, that's my Trans Am. Oh wow!
Yeah,
so much money put into it.
It was good racing, but anyway, like I said, it was a cool event. Good turnout, fast cars as usual, but.
Did y'all get to hang out afterwards, meet at prior dinner, food, lunch, burgers?
Dude. Well, that's why we got home so late, because we did start with Whataburger about 4. Yeah. So we left about 4:15, and we made our way. We came down over here this way, and we stopped at Whataburger. So that's why we got home late. So but I mean, when we were done, we loaded up, and we were tired.
Y'all gonna do another one like that? You think Thomas will do another one, or?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, because if they would let him know where they're testing, I mean, obviously he may have to just do it on his own. But
establish the points, because here's the thing, and I'll be forward with it, and that's only because I'm from that area. There's only so many roads that you're gonna have secluded for street racing and nobody knows about them, but those who are there. You'll never have endless roads to race to where you don't know which one it's going to be. It may be a surprise of maybe 1 or 4 roads, but everybody who's from here, at one point or another, if you've been racing on the street with the same family, you've made test hits there. So all you got to do is say, oh, at the last minute, if you figure out that it's that road, you'll know because you can adjust your vehicle because you've been there before, maybe not in 6 months.
Right.
But you'll know. But if you're a newcomer and it is one of those surprises where we run, now it's going to be a different ball game because you've never actually raced there. So maybe that's something that Thomas is going to have to get used to. Maybe put some licks down on the street so he can know all the roads until the roads get canceled for whatever reason. Well, that's how you establish time.
That's kind of what I feel. I don't know. Thomas, he'll do his thing,
but it's not a problem for him though.
Thomas don't give a shit.
Run wherever.
But he'll whatever he decides to do. Like I said, if he makes some licks on the street, he'll figure it out. It'll be. Like I said, it's pretty quick now. I mean, so if he's able to put some power down and get it to hook and get a suspension dialed in, for street and. But like I said, he may not want to do that.
How did the new shocks come about? How did they work? The new ones that he's got.
Oh,
did they respond differently?
They're going to work. I mean, they're made for racing, but by all means they got the valving. Because the valving he's got in the rear, they're for radials.
Yeah.
So, but he can make it work.
Right.
So like I said, if he just gets some testing in. He'll be fine.
Eventually, he'll be fine.
He'll be good. Like I said, but it all depends on he may not. He might just decide to go and say, "Screw it, I might just run at the track." I don't know, right? So but regardless, if he does go to the street, he's gonna be fast. He'll be there. So like I said, everybody around here is quick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their advantages in ways because they do the testing, but.
Well, let me
regardless,
ask you this.
When you start going down, when they do the big and stuff, that's the thing that's going to bring everybody around to you, right?
Well, let me ask you this, because it's just in a general setting. You can't control the street that gives you the opportunity to put on an event. But you can always ask the question, just like I always ask somebody, are you a track or a street car? I'll ask you, now that you've been out there, do you prefer concrete or a street? What would you do if you were in Thomas's shoes or somebody else's shoes around there? Are you a street or are you going to prefer a concrete race over one of those, ranch streets?
I don't know, man. Because it's probably been 30 years since I raced on
the
street.
But just you were standing around.
So honestly, I like the 60 foot. I like the 110s. I like the 60. So concrete.
Concrete.
I don't know how I can sit there and take so much power out just to get down the track.
That's true.
And
that's the challenge, right? I guess
that's the challenge. It's a tuner. You take power to make control, and then you put it back in. Controllably. Yeah. So again, that's just me, but everybody's got their niche. So. Yeah. But if you're going to ask me, I prefer concrete because I would like to.
So when it's
get
available,
down as fast as possible from 0 to 60. I like to be the fastest I can possibly be.
So hopefully these guys can find some more of that as opposed to a street.
Well, and like I said, some of these cats out there, they're 60 foot on the street. Yeah. They can 60 foot on their little on asphalt. So I'm not knocking them, but
it's just a lot of work to get on those type of streets. Maybe that's the whole point of putting somebody on the street like that.
But like I said, everybody's got an operation. If that's what they're doing with their team, they're going. That's what they're doing, and that's fine. That's what they're testing. They're testing for the street.
One thing that I noticed, that a car that was working really well there. Maybe he got beat based on not enough power put on, but the guy with the catapult system.
Beat a bomb, yeah.
That thing is set up to run on something like that. Yeah. I don't know why, but the thing was he was actually rolling. I don't know, like like he was running backwards. The way it was set up, he was literally balancing on the back wheels. Yeah. His tires weren't really they were kind of touching, but he was.
Well, so what happened? That uneven road. Yeah. He got beat by Stephen Little.
Yeah.
And so what? if you look, he was in the left lane where it had the dip, and he drove to the left.
Right, I saw that.
He had to let off, and it was just enough to beat him.
That's
so
how you get beat.
Again, there was some advantages of running certain lanes.
Now Thomas was on the left lane.
He ran 2 times on the right, and he ran 1 on the left.
And he did good on the left.
He did good on the left. He was more over, like I said, we're not hitting it hard. I mean,
and you were off the groove slightly.
Yeah, there was the very first pass. There was a little bit. No, it was the second pass. Yeah. But here's the funny thing is that second pass, he caught the best 60 out of both.
That's what I saw. That's what, and even some of the people, they're like, "Oh shit, that truck ran."
He caught the best. He got out of the 2 times we ran to the right. It was good. 1 we won, 1 we lost. Okay, but the left lane, he caught his best 60 off his
with the dip.
Yeah, with the
he just got lucky.
So, but I was off the groove. There was a little. He was off the groove, just a half a tire. I mean, half a tire. Was,
Oh, it's visible. It was visible in one of the videos.
It was.
I was like,
it didn't hurt him.
I'm over here on the phone. Dude, you're off. You're off a little bit.
And I seen, I'm like, man,
fuck it.
I mean, we're only launching like anyway.
2000.
It's
yeah.
So it's nothing. So I wasn't worried about it. So I knew it was gonna be fine. But anyway, but he got the best 60 was in that left lane. But anyway. To back to that one race, the beater bomb was that he got pulled left.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting power down. I mean that's they're putting power down, and he's got the ballast. You know, if you want to call it the catapult.
I think it works. I think it works.
Yeah, it works. Oh no, you got so many ways to.
It's funny if more people actually start showing up with some detachable.
So he got beat by Stephen Little, and Stephen Little ended up winning the race. So Stephen's fast. But going back to what we were talking about is that, you know, for me, like I said, I'm still set to where if, you know, I prefer to go as fast as possible. And hell, I'm not saying my car is fast, but because somebody could beat me on the street, but they got straight up for a street.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There's cars that could beat your car there.
Yeah, they're fast, but like I said, that's what I prefer. If I wanted to go build another car, I'll go build another car, right? Go around the street.
Exactly, because you never know. This is honest truth. I mean, when you're out there on the street, man, your car's gonna get beat up by the street, or by you going off the street, or the guy next to you. So it's not even your fault.
Yeah.
And those are just the consequences, right?
That's the point. Yeah.
And I don't have a gripe from a track dude to a street guy. I may have my days where I'll say I do not like that street.
Right.
That's bullshit. I'll never go there. Not even to watch.
Right.
You know, it's sketchy. Just to, but there's always a really fast car that's on the street that if you put him on the track, he may actually just be faster.
Yeah,
the thing is that the track only offers a little bit of safety. It offers a safety margin.
Yeah.
If you put a lot of money in your car, like let's say the Pro Stock teams and NHRA, they're not looking to go smash their cars. Yeah. They're looking to make round.
And this is not even to compare the track or street, because I mean
both are great events.
They're all got some badass stuff, right?
And
I dig and respect them. Like I said, they're fast, but you know, I do like I said, I like the safety factor being at a track
that's it.
I mean, you know,
I wouldn't mind checking out a warehouse prep. That's a little safer. You know, it's open, a little more open.
Yeah.
It's concrete. Most of these places.
Yeah.
But to take a car you've really put a lot of money over a period of time, you haven't had any issues at a track yet where you fucking slid, hit. You go to the street, you got to put that factor in there that your car might get damaged.
That's the point. It's just a matter of, it's not. And
if you don't have a battle car, and this was not your battle car to go out there, then you're gonna have a hard time finding another freaking Camaro body from first gen or something that's unless you want to go buy another brand new retooled shell, and they're not cheap. You know what I mean?
That's not gonna happen. So, like I said, those that's definitely something.
Yeah.
Even if you do find it, it's gonna be an arm and a leg. But anyway, but the thing is too is that you can have the same risk at a track. You know, so you can have an accident at a track. You know, if I do, that's why I'd rather. Anyway.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you know, if you go on the street, you go here, cops run you off, load up, you gotta go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Make a couple hits, get broke up, you got to load up and go to somewhere. Which, that's what they live for.
So what do you? Being that it's street, there's always going to be pedestrians. There's always going to be some car that you have to make room. Did that happen there? Or did you see anybody?
No, well, that was. I mean, I'm not.
It is what it is.
There was stuff that would at a track would be like a big no.
Yeah.
But it's you can't do nothing about it. It's
so you weren't. But were you far enough away from the city? No.
Oh.
Was it far away, or was it still rural next to maybe a neighborhood somewhere down the street?
Oh, yeah, there was no neighborhoods near there. But I mean, when you literally say if it was, let's just say you could probably get to the hospital pretty damn fast.
Okay.
So, there was no neighborhoods. There was nothing. There was because if there was, then I'm sure the noise would have because it was loud. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was loud. You can hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was far enough away to where lights you couldn't make nothing out. It was
you weren't gonna get constant traffic or something.
Constant traffic or constant people disturbing or whatever. It was it's nothing like that. I mean that was not even an issue there. So
nice.
Yeah. So, but and to kind of go back where Thomas, I'm sure he may run some, he may not. I just don't know. But regardless, Thomas he'll make a showing. Right. And all the other guys, they're all the local guys. They're going to be running, right? They're always going to be running. So they're, Matt could probably touch on a few things, and if he, when he comes back on to, win the next event, maybe he will, maybe he will not. Yeah. He will not. But so he can touch on it, and but it was fun. Like I said, I just didn't like getting home 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's something you can't.
It is.
So what was the what was the pot? What was the payout?
Dude, it was 16 cars, $500, $8,000.
There you go.
So it was a pot.
Nice.
So yeah.
So think about it. Whoever wants to run with these type of events all over the United States, the pots are pretty big, and just if you're willing to bring your car out and do something like that. This is why we talk about it on this show, so that you guys get some real world of what is out there. We don't have an opinion. We don't have
we don't have nothing in the pot.
We're gonna separate it. No, what we like to do on this show is we like to talk about what goes on at the event, at a track. If it's on a street, we're just gonna. Yeah. Talk about it. It's not even a criticism. It's just tell the story of what it is.
Yeah. We'll give our friendly input. I mean,
everybody has a terrific build of a car when you guys show up. Whether you're on the street or whether you're on the track, you guys are kicking some ass. You guys are complete pro, drivers. These aren't chicken run type races from back in the day where nobody knows what the hell this isn't. Freaking. Side burnouts around a telephone pole. This is just where it's at, man. Yeah. That's what everybody's doing today for the two types of drag racing that's going on today. You got track and you've got the world of street, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's what we got in store. Like I said, that's what's going on now. So we just touch base on it, talk about it, give some input, and then. Obviously, if anybody wants to come on and discuss it further, by all means.
Yeah, come on out, check it out.
Like I said, this show was pretty much unscripted. We just talked about pretty much the whole month of December. Just our activity. But what we have planned in the future is we're working on. We got some scheduled guests, and like I said. We'll have some new episodes here soon. So, and
if you're into refrigeration, how to repair that shit. Come on down.
Tell
us about how to fix that shit. We want to know how we can modify something.
I definitely don't need one now, but for in the future reference, like I said, that was definitely not a good a good way to start off for Christmas. But anyway,
you know what? You know that little tank that's in that AC. Mm-hmm. That little tank is what they use to put a compressor on. And instead of the CO2 that they run on the turbo cars, that's how they run that little tank, the smallest tank you can buy to build a little bit of air, and I've seen it on some cars already. Some
they're using it for instead of like a fixed.
Instead of going to Harbor Freight and buying a big ass air tank, you get that little bitty one right there. and it builds just enough air to where you constantly don't run out. So that's one thing that if you didn't get rid of your refrigerator, man, keep that little tank.
Use a reservoir tank in there.
Yeah,
you use it for anything.
People,
and everything.
People are creative when it comes to building a car. I thought that was just something pretty cool that they do in the turbo world.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
All right, man.
Where we at, man?
Yeah, man. We're gonna wrap it up.
Already?
Like I said, we can wrap it up. Like I said, we just got. Like I said, we just went through a couple things the month of December, and we're looking forward for some more events coming up. More episodes here in the future. So be on the lookout.
We'll have a new mini bike out, by the way, February. If we can build it, if parts come in, everything's being really slow.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get UPS to ship shit due to the weather, is what they say. But if we can put this new mini bike together, man, that's going to be pretty cool for us to go to February. And Josh is trying to get his car, all his parts actually put on. So he's working really hard to get that. Eventually, he wants to not necessarily go to street, but he definitely wants to go to the track and have some seat time. He wants to learn how to. So he's getting his feet wet with the mini bike, just playing around. Noah, his brother, is tuning on it. So man, they're getting really familiar with what it's like to be at a drag strip. You know what I mean? With the big car, these guys they learned a lot on a little mini bike. And so you guys, man, if you have kids, whatever, man, they're teens, but they've never been to the track. This is also a great way to introduce it, mini dragsters, but this is mini bikes.
Of course.
So
they're revamping it.
So if you have a mini bike, man, take it out there. It'd be fun for you guys.
So February, the next mini bike race, of course, Matt could probably touch base on a little bit more.
Yeah,
so.
That slower car, I'd like to know more about it. That'd be
cool deal, man. Like I said, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Like I said, we got about a good amount of audio here. So anyway. So until next time, catch you at the track and next year coming up to 2023. So, but again, be on the lookout for new episodes, and they'll be coming out soon. So we're gonna snap out. Peace
out.
All right, guys. Have a good one.